Once you've actually prepped your image for editing, now we could actually start adding some color. Number one thing that you need to make sure of though is that you're on the background copy over here on the right hand side. Make sure that you've got the background image hidden. So in other words, you've poked this eye so that way it's hidden. So any changes you make are going to occur on this top copy. Okay? Now, over here on the side over this way, you'll notice that I've got my my tool menu. Tools that I'm going to be using are going to be primarily my magic wand. I'm going to be using a paint bucket. I'm going to be using my paint palette. So first things first, how to get to the magic wand. The magic wand is actually going to be the fourth tool. If you don't see it there and you see the quick selection tool, click and hold and go to the magic wand tool. Any of these tools that have a small little triangle in the right hand corner means that they have more tools behind them. So I'm using the magic wand. So here's what I'm going to do. I come over here to my image and I'm going to click on a white area. By clicking on that white area, you'll notice these running ants going all the way around it. That means that this entire section is actually highlighted and selected. This is part of my sky. However, I have part of my sky over here, so I'm going to hold down Shift and I'm going to click again. And notice I select more of it. I also have sky in between the small spaces in my water tower, so I'm going to click and hold. I'm holding down Shift and I'm clicking in these small areas, and you'll notice that I am selecting all of my sky. So there. Now once it's selected, I could actually add color. First thing I need to do is select the color I want to make my sky. So I'm going to come over here once again to my tool menu and come down here to my color. You'll see that it's black and white right now. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to come over here to this color picker and I'm going to move up and down and find a blue that I like. Then I click on the palette and you'll notice that it changes it. So it changed this from what it currently was as black, and this is my new color. I like this blue, so I'm going to use it. I click OK. Come back over here to my tool menu. I notice my value scale here. I click and hold, and there's the paint bucket. I click on the paint bucket. Now I've got this little paint bucket, and I could actually start clicking and putting blue into the selected areas. I could come over here to this floor and click on it and nothing's going to happen because it is not selected. That's how we select things. You'll notice here that part of my mountain was selected. Well, that's unfortunate. That means that there's a little gap over here somewhere that I'm going to have to fix, but I'll show you how to do that in a second. So that's it for now in terms of selecting that. I want to select my grass down in here and make that green. Once again, I'm going to come over here to my magic tool or my magic wand, click on it, select the green. You see that? Once again, I hold down Shift, select the little spaces that I have that are grass that are not selected, and I'm going to fill those all green. Once again, I come over here to my blue. I'm going to scroll down and look for a green that I like. And by the way, when I'm scrolling here, I'm not just looking at this area. What I'm actually looking at, that's unfortunate. What I'm actually looking at, I apologize for that. What I'm looking for is actually greens that I see in this area, not necessarily in this area. So I'm coming in here and I see a good green right there that I like. That's pretty dark. That's okay though. You'll understand why in a second. I click OK, go to my paint bucket, click, and I start filling in green. Pretty easy, right? Nothing too difficult, nothing too complicated. And I've got that entire thing down. The only problem is that it looks very, very flat. I really wish I could go a little bit maybe lighter to darker, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Now what I'm going to do is I come over here and see this white right over here. So I've got my foreground color, background color. I click on that. Okay. I select my green, but see how it turned to an eyedropper? I selected my green, so I get back to that same green. Now I could actually kind of scroll up, and I'm going to go a little bit lighter, right around here. Now I'm going to click OK. Go to the paint bucket tool, click and hold, and find the gradient tool. It changes from a paint bucket to a little cross here. I'm going to slide over here, click and drag, and suddenly I start to create a gradient. Click and drag up, and now I've got lighter towards the back. That's how you create a gradient. Pretty easy stuff, nothing too complicated. Once I like what I've got selected or what I've done, I could go back to my magic wand, click on it, right click, I get a new menu, and then I click deselect, and I can keep moving on. All right. I hope that helps you in terms of understanding how to start putting in and blocking in color. Keeping in mind that what you need to do is make sure that you're not using too many colors, and instead of just using a lot of colors, that you're using colors intelligently. I'll explain to you in terms of how to make a dark area, light area, and so on and so forth later. Okay? If you have any questions, please be sure to talk to the teacher. Thank you.